Okay, welcome back, grade 11s. Okay, so we're going to go through sexual behavior, right? Choosing to have sex is a big decision, and please try and think whether what you are doing is, why you are doing is fueled by what. If it is something you want to do, then fine. Just take precautions with it. But if it's something you don't want to do, ask yourself why. Is it perhaps a girlfriend or boyfriend pressurizing you? Let's say it's your 1 year anniversary and he wants or she wants to do something special and show his love or her love. Ask yourself, are you comfortable with it? If you're comfortable with it, then it's fine. If you are not, the advice that they give here is to say no and be assertive, right? Be assertive and say no if it's not something you don't want to do. You don't have to do anything you don't want to do with someone. You have the right to say no. Avoid alcohol and drugs. Sometimes people can spike your drinks, right? And that could sort of lead you into a situation that you were not planning to be in. Okay, so that's also dangerous. And then don't get in a car with someone you don't trust. Okay, human trafficking is a real thing. And I was having this conversation with my matrix. We watched a video about someone that was human trafficked, and what had happened was she went to go visit a friend from university, like it was like let's say a school friend, and you go visit them. In her case, the school friend her university friend had moved out, and she was there, as like a housewarming to say, hey, let's see your place. So she went to visit her friend, and she never went home after that. Her friend was in line with human traffickers, and she sort of sold her friend to them to pay for her university fees. And she spoke of her experience with that. And you know what? It came from such a trustworthy place that you go to see your friend. You wouldn't expect to be human trafficked by your friend. So please be notes to the people you know and see that you actually know them, who they are, like the real them. Okay. And then, so if you decide to have sex, okay, there are some risks of different things, and pregnancy being one of them, as well as STDs and STIs. So there is many contraceptives out there for you to use to avoid pregnancy and STIs and STDs. There's condoms. Me and my class have a saying, be wise and condomize. We also used to tell us, no love without the glove, right? So that's to protect yourself, right? Unless you're not ready to be pregnant, So yeah, so that's to protect yourself against pregnancy as well as STDs and STIs. You can also, with a partner, go and get tested for diseases if you don't want to use a condom all the time. There's different ways you can go and get tested and see if you are safe. You can also implant. There's different methods of contraceptives. Honestly, there's a clinic just across from school, and if you go in there and tell them that you are planning on having sex and you want to do it in a safe way, and you would just like to book a session with a nurse to discuss different contraceptives and how you can best protect yourself against STDs, STIs, and pregnancy, they will gladly sit with you. They will be so happy and proud of you for being responsible with your choice. Okay. Then teenage suicide. So suicide is when someone takes their own life. In South Africa, 1 in 10 teen deaths are a result of suicide. There are many reasons why a teen may feel like they want to end their life. For example, depression. Alcohol and drug use is often connected to suicide. Many teens who are bullied feel helpless and worthless, right? Some teens are more at risk if they've tried it before, they have a history of depression and suicide in the family, they use alcohol and drugs, they have been physically or sexually abused. So any sort of trauma naturally will leave you with emotional fatigue, depression, and it's easy for us to give in to the storm. What we need to remember is that this storm will only last for now. It's not something that's going to be there forever. This is something that you will overcome. How you feel right now is not going to stay that way forever. That helps, you get up. Try and get help. So you also, once you sort of been hit by grief, you go through different stages, and getting help is a lot better than keeping to yourself and building of poisonous thoughts, which leads you to sort of a need for escape, a need to get away from your problems, and death being the ultimate escape, that you'll never be bothered by these problems again. You have purpose. You have a purpose. You provide so much to the world, and you need to remember that you have a reason for being, and for some people you are their hope. So it's not always that you are helpless or worthless, that you do have worth. It's just sometimes we can't see our worth because we're overwhelmed by the storms. So my best advice sort of would be that, look, you can't control the wind, but you can reinforce your sails, which is important for you to remember. The bad times are going to come. You can't stop that, but you can build yourself to be stronger. Okay, as well as speaking up about it. Naturally, with bullying, you should obviously speak to someone, and the necessary procedure will be followed regarding that. And also, if you see someone else is being bullied, don't keep quiet. Stop someone from doing that. There's no reason for someone else to belittle another person, So if you see bullying occur, stop. Try and stop that if you see it. And then alcohol and drug use. So with regards to this, alcohol and drug use affects you hormonally, and your hormones are responsible for your emotions. Okay, so if you have a high level of dopamine, for instance, you're going to be happy, and that's why generally, if you ever have like a traumatic thing happen, they generally give you sugar water, because the sugar is going to help you with